Early extension. This is a huge killer of a lot of golf swings. This is when our hips move toward the golf ball coming into impact, which forces us to have to flip the club to get to the ball, and we just lose a lot of compression when we do that. So how do we eliminate this? I have a great 7-day plan that's going to allow you to get rid of this early extension for good. So first, let's understand a couple of terms. One is bend. Bend, just to think of it simply, is just making the angle between your upper body and your lower body smaller. So this would be bend. Extend would be the opposite, where we're making the angle between the upper body and the lower body bigger. So this is what's happening in the golf swing. We are bending at address. And I tweaked my back yesterday, so I'm not going to be making any swings. So throughout this video, I'll be showing some slow motion footage of Clay Ballard's swing. He's the founder of Top Speed Golf, fantastic golf swing. And you'll be able to see a lot of the things that I'm talking about here. So at address, we have some forward bend, a little bit of forward bend. Now, as we go up to the top of the swing, we're actually extending a little bit. A lot of people don't realize this because our shoulders are turning and tilting, but we're actually extending a little bit as we go up to the top of the swing. So if you imagine if we didn't extend at all to the top of the swing, our backswing would look like this, right? And that'd be no good. And we also don't want to extend too much because then our backswing would look like this. And that would lead to a whole nother host of issues. So if we're keeping our head fairly steady, then we're going to have a good amount of extension as we go up to the top, as we're staying in our posture there. Now, in the start of the downswing, we actually have some bend. This is where most people go wrong. They extend up to the top of the swing, and then they continue to extend in the start of the downswing. A lot of times this feels really powerful, but in reality, what we're doing is we're just throwing that club early, right? We're trying to get power at the wrong time. We want to get power really through impact, and the way that we do that is to bend initially in the start of the downswing, reduce that angle between the upper body and the lower body, and then extend through impact. That's how we really get that power. That's how you see the tour players, they're covering the ball, they're getting that compression, and they're getting that effortless power that we all see. So how do we get rid of this? Well, I got a 7-day plan for you, like I mentioned. So day one, what we're going to do is we're going to put a club across the shoulders here, and you can do this at home. A lot of this 7-day plan, it's 15 minutes. You can do at home before you even go to the range. I think it's always great to get in some home reps because it just makes it easier. You're not wasting so much time on the range, buying all these balls and not getting anywhere. You get in the work in at home and then go to the range, and you're going to get a lot more done if you do that. So the first thing we're going to do is at home. So at home here, what I want you to do initially here, day one, 15 minutes, put the club across your shoulders here. And I apologize if this is hitting the mic, but we're going to put our club across the shoulders here, a little bit of forward bend at address. And then as we go up to the top, we're going to extend a little bit, and we're going to keep our head nice and steady. As long as you are keeping this club tilted down and keeping your head steady, you're going to be extending the right amount. If your head moves a lot off of the ball and your shoulders get level, or your head moves kind of toward the target and our shoulders kind of get angled down a little bit too much sometimes, then we're extending too much. So if we keep our head steady and keep those shoulders kind of tilting down a little bit on the other side of the golf ball, you're going to be in that good position. So we're going to go up to the top and we're going to pause. Now we're going to come down in the start of the downswing here, and we're going to bend into the ground. So I want you to really exaggerate this. I want you to try to make this angle between your upper body and your lower body. I want you to feel like it's 90 degrees. Now that's not really as much as what happens in the golf swing, but I want you to feel that because I want you to feel almost like you can't exaggerate this too much. If you're someone who goes like this, you can't exaggerate that too much. In reality, if you do, which is probably not going to happen, but if you do, once you get toward the end of this, if you're actually overdoing it, you can always ease off of it. It's so much easier to overdo something than ease off of it than to try to do something little by little by little. I would try to really, really exaggerate it. It's really going to move the needle with your improvement a lot faster. So when we're coming down here, I really want you to bend down and get those hips back to square. Now what you're going to notice here is that my shoulders are still pretty closed off. This would be, this point in the golf swing. So my shoulders are still closed off. You're going to have that club kind of angled down a little bit in front of the golf ball. And then from here, you're going to extend up and through. Now, when you extend up and through, what we want to make sure that we do is we keep this end of the club, this butt end of the club, or the front end of the club, I guess, pointing down toward the ground, pointing down toward the golf ball. You want to almost feel like your shoulders are turning like a Ferris wheel. If you look at the slow motion video of Clay's swing, you're going to see how Clay's shoulders are staying a little bit steep as they're coming through. They're actually steeper than they were at the top of the swing. And this is a trait that you're going to see in almost every single tour player. So that's what we want to feel like. Now, the shoulders aren't really turning like a Ferris wheel vertically like that, but again, this is something that you're probably going to need to feel to get closer to where you want to be with it. So really feel like you're keeping those shoulders angled down. What we don't want to do is come in here and pause and then just kind of stand up and extend. That's not what we want to do. We want to extend and have those shoulders kind of angling down with it. So like I said, tweaked my back a little bit, so I'm not doing that as well as I should, but I think you get the idea looking at Clay's slow-mo video there. So that's day one, 15 minutes before bed, when you wake up, when the news is on, whenever you want, get that 15 minutes in, or more if you want to, but really you just need to take 15 minutes with it. Now day two, what we're going to do is we're going to take the pauses out of there, and we're just going to do some really slow fluid reps, all right? So really, really slow initially here, and we're going to go up to the top, nice and slow. We're going to bend down and extend up and through. I want you to take, on the first one, I want you to feel like you're taking like 10 seconds to do it. That's how slow you want to go. And then as you get better with it, try to work it up a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and try to get to where you can at least do it at 50% speed, somewhere in that area. So that's day two, 15 minutes, just adding some fluidity to it, trying to build up the speed. Day three is where we're going to try and work this up to full speed. Again, we're at home. You don't have to go to the range. You can do this in the office, wherever you want, wherever you got a little bit of space. And you're just going to go up to the top and try to start off where you left off the day before and try to work up to getting to full speed with it, getting those proper motions. And really what you have to remember is bend at address, extend a little bit at the top, bend in the downswing, and extend through impact, and keeping those shoulders kind of tilted down throughout, head steady. You're going to do really, really well with this. So now, once we're up to full speed on day three, getting these nice club across the shoulder swings in, now we're ready to get the club in the hands and try to do the same thing. And we're going to start with the pauses again. And again, you can do this at home. If you have some space, do it in the backyard. If you have some space in your garage, you don't have to go to the range to do this. You can work on this at home. So again, another 15 minutes. Let's get the club in the hands now. A little bit of bend at address. We're going to keep our head steady, tilt our shoulders down, and get a little bit of extension at the top. And then we're going to really bend down, right? So this is that hips back to square, really bending into the ground here. And then we're going to extend up and through, coming through just like that. So go nice and slow with it. Do it with the pauses. 15 minutes. That's day four, all right? Day five, just like we did in day two with the club across the shoulders, now let's add some fluidity to it. So I want you to take literally what would be almost like a 10-second swing initially, doing this movement with no pauses. So you can start out with a couple pausing ones, but we want to work toward where we're getting at least 50% in a fluid swing. So we're going to go up to the top here. We're going to go nice and slow. We're going to bend down and extend through. And I really want you to kind of brush the turf. I didn't do a good job there of brushing the turf, but I want you to try to brush the turf. Imagine where the golf ball would be. Imagine impact as you're doing this. So try to work up to 50% on day five, doing the nice fluid swings. Day six, you probably guessed it, right? We're going to try to work up with these practice swings, work all the way up to full speed doing these practice swings. So start out at 50% where you left off the day before. And again, just kind of work through. You can do some pausing ones, some slow ones initially, but we want to work through up on day six. We want to work up to getting up to basically full speed where we're staying in our posture. And as you're doing this, I want you to imagine that you are really exaggerating it. And I want you to imagine what's going on at impact. I want you to hear the sound of the golf ball, see the ball flight. I want you to imagine how it's going to feel when you hit it, how the divot's going to fly. I want you to kind of imagine these things. It may sound silly to do that, but it really goes a long way in your improvement and being able to take this to the range. So that's what day seven is. Day seven is you've done your work at home, you've done your 15 minutes a day for 6 days, so hour and a half or so. And again, that's 15 minutes is just a suggestion. You can do more than that, but that's what you want to do to work up to there. Get all your work in at home so that way when you go to the range, it's much, much easier. So now you're at the range and you have an idea of what you need to do. Now, what I don't want you to do is just start hitting balls right away and expect it to click right away. What I want you to do is I want you to do a practice swing where you're getting it first, and then right after that, step up to the golf ball. So I'm going to get warmed up on the range here. I'm going to get ready to go. And now I'm going to try and do my swings. I'm going to start out with probably like a 50% swing where I'm making sure that I'm getting in my right positions here. I'm bending and extending, and everything looks good. And then I'm going to work up to full speed. And once I get a full speed one, I know it's good. If a golf ball was there, I know it would have been a good strike. I'm going to step into the golf ball, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm not going to change anything at all. And don't be afraid of what happens with your contact. That first one, it might be a disaster. You might shank it. You know, I hate to say that, but you might chunk it. Something bad may happen. That's okay. Don't be afraid of that. It's the first one that you've tried after getting on doing these drills. Your body doesn't quite know how to move this way and hit the golf ball yet, but you just have to work through it. So let's say on the first one here, I come in and I feel like I do everything. I stay in my posture and I chunk the ball, right? I hit behind the ball 6 inches. That's okay. Well, on the next one, I'm just going to try and do better than that. I'm going to imagine, all right, so on the last one I chunked it, I'm going to feel like I'm hitting more in front of the golf ball now. I'm going to imagine that divot in front of the golf ball. So I'm going to make sure I get another good practice swing again, and then I'm going to step into the golf ball, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. You just got to keep working through the adjustments. This is how you work through improving things in your swing. So do that 7-day plan, and I'm telling you, you're going to eliminate your early extension for good. All right, so now let's say that you've gone out to the range and you've done everything that I've talked about, and you still have a problem. You're not able to stay in your posture and hit that golf ball correctly, or no matter what you do, you feel like you have to stand up. Well, if that is the case, you're more than likely coming down steep. What that means is, in the start of the downswing, when we do our bend, right, this butt end of the club or the shaft gets vertical, it gets steep. So when that happens, you basically have a couple options. Options number one is just to stick the club right in the ground. Most people aren't going to do that. Maybe some beginner level golfers are going to really kind of stick the club in the ground 6 inches behind the golf ball. It happens sometimes, but usually the upper level golfers are going to do one of two things. They're either going to kind of continue to come down steep and rotate, and they're going to come way over the top, hit a big pull, slice, something like that. What most players do, though, is they're going to actually stand up and have that early extension. A lot of times that early extension is a compensation for a steep downswing. The reason is that if I get down here and I stand up, look what happens to that handle. The handle goes that way, that makes this head drop in behind, and now I can swing from the inside or swing on plane. I can hit a functional golf shot, but the problem is I've had to stand up and flip to do that, and I've lost all my compression. So if you're having trouble with this out on the range, I would recommend setting up a video from down the line, get it down your toe line here, and see if that butt into the club, see if this club is getting steep in the downswing. And if it is, you really want to pay attention to this next video, this bonus video that I have for you, where Clay, the founder of Top Speed Golf, you saw a lot of his swings earlier in the video, is going to go over what we call the anti-roll method, or ARM. And this method is a way to help you to get this club shallowing out and to get it squaring earlier, so that way you can use this great bend that you have, this great staying in your posture that you have now, and be able to really compress the ball like all the tour players are doing. So if you'd like to see a preview of this video, all you have to do is stick around. But if you want to watch the whole entire video, all you have to do is click the iCard that's going to pop up on your screen here in a minute, or you can click the link in the description below. Play well, and I'll talk to you soon.
So here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep. And that steep club causes all your problems. It causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strike. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only two pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,